7, right? 7 and a wake up. 7 days, and then you're going to wake up and it's Christmas morning. So, first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday, Jesus.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Thanks for being here. It is SFMF Live Wednesday night. Welcome home from work, everybody. Let me see. I'm going to refresh this. I had them show me how to do this, so I don't need to rely on them every time. Yep. First, I got to pull up the live. There it is. Boom. And we're live. Welcome. Okay. So far, so good. Doc Holiday. I see Doc is there. Boom. Look at this.
You did it all by yourself.
Did it all by myself. Welcome, everybody. We're back. We are back. We just hung out with the members for a few minutes. And if you become a member, come to the pre-flight. It's pretty entertaining. I'll show my hoodie I was wearing. I got hot. I was wearing it because I was cold. I took it off, but I'm going to show it because it's awesome. You've seen the hoodies. This is a double-sided hoodie. And it's still cold out. Most places. It's the holidays. All right, JTB. Good to see you, JTB. We're going to talk about some boot camp stuff in this episode, so I need you to hang out and give some advice. A lot of comments recently, and again, I generalize stuff. One thing is never forget where you came from. We heard that as growing up. That's the kind of leader you want to be. Never forget where you came from. And as often as I say it and I tell people, I forget about it too, right? Like being physically fit. I just assume everybody knows how to do that. But I didn't know how to do that prior to boot camp. Yeah, I work out. I was on the football team, and I know how to PT, I guess. But working out, specifically preparing for Marine Corps boot camp, some guidance would have been nice, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. How to prepare. No gym needed. All right. Yes, thank you, producer. I did do it all by myself. John McJunkin is here early. Good to see you, John McJunkin and crew. And yes, we're all here. The whole production team is here. We're missing 2. Both of them better be on. You better text those 2 right now. Tell them to get online. I'm going to talk about them. McJunkin, good work, Sergeant Major. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you. Wasn't easy. I got it. Kimi Cocoa Puffs. Everyone behave. Look at them hammers. Randy, what's up? Hello to you and Ellie. You guys ready for Christmas? What are you doing? We're going to talk about Christmas, what everyone's plans are here for a little bit before we get hot and heavy on specifics on how to prepare for boot camp. All right. We're good. 5x5. We still 5x5 if somebody can take a look at that. Sound, lighting. Where's Eric at? We got to leave this light on. I don't know if I may not have plugged it into the right one. But we're good. How to prepare for Marine Corps boot camp. No gym required. It's going to be our main topic. John McJunkin, your crew should be all over this. How to prepare for boot camp. No gym required. Not everyone has access to a gym. We're just talking about that in the pre-flight with the members. Don't use that as an excuse. I can't afford a gym membership. There's no gym close to my house. Even if you have access to base, maybe you may not live close to base. No gym required. We're going to talk about that. Right there. Devin O'Lee, run. You don't need a gym to do that. In fact, it's better not in a gym, right? The ellipticals work and the treadmills, all those are cool. But to get ready for Marine Corps boot camp, hit the pavement. You got to hit the pavement. All right. Run more, then run again. Nailed it. And a short I did too, I didn't post it yet, but do the 3 things, right? For Marine Corps boot camp for the IST. It's an IST short. I'll publish it tomorrow. All it is pull-ups, planks, and a 1.5 mile run. 3 events, pull-ups, planks, 1.5 mile run. Talking to members earlier, you'd be surprised how many recruits show up to boot camp, can't do 1 pull-up. There's more that can't do 3, which is the minimum. They had to have done 3 recruiters to be able to sign up. They had to have passed the IST. Something happens though after they sign the papers and then they ship. Those pull-ups disappear. Their runtime turns from 13:30 exactly. They passed it with the recruiter. Then it turns into 15 minutes on the depot. What happens and how do you prepare? And the point is, I always say be physically fit, but we don't get into specifics. So I'm going to ask y'all here in a little bit to be specific on how to prepare for Marine Corps boot camp, the physical fitness part, so the IST. Not that hard, and I see that they added on there ammo can lifts, but there's no scoring for it. It just says as many as you can, 30-pound ammo can, as many as you can in a time limit of 2 minutes. So I think they just want to see that you can actually do ammo can lifts for 2 minutes, right? Later in the CFT, you do get scored. Anderson Ho, what's up, Anderson Ho? Good to see you. Good evening, SFMF family, dropping in for the motivation and inspiration. Anderson, we're going to need that from you tonight. We're talking about how to prepare for boot camp, some specifics, not just get physically fit, but good to see you, Anderson. We're also talking about Christmas. It's 7 days in a wake up, and it's going to be Christmas morning. Presents, sure. Tree, stockings, all that, yes, but we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. All right. Matthew, I remember being able to do pull-ups. Then I don't know how I lost it. It happens. Well, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. Planks, pull-ups, and run. Those are exercises you can do every single day. And I'm talking to the gym sharks who say you can't work chest every day. No, you cannot work a major muscle every day. You got to give it time to grow, to recover, and then grow. So I do a 5-day workout. I do chest every 5th day. Those days in between is when that major muscle is resting. You don't need to do that with pull-ups, planks, or run every day. No days off. Plyometrics. I haven't done it. Is that like CrossFit? Plyometrics? Kimi Cocoa Puffs?
Not really, a little bit.
Stretching? Sounds like stretching. Anderson Ho, kicking us off strong. Thank you, brother.
A lot of body weight, I think, is plyo.
Oh, my plyometrics, all body weight? Is that what you're talking about? Devin O'Lee?
I think it's just Devin.
Maybe Devin O'Lee? Devin. Thank you. Plyometrics. So you can. Again, I've been fortunate. The whole time I've been working out, started in high school. So, of course, I had the high school gym and then the Marine Corps the rest of my life. Always had a gym to work out. Except when you go in the field, you kind of got to make makeshift stuff to work out. But you can get in boot camp shape. You can get in Marine shape without a gym. And it sounds like plyometrics is what it's called. But you got to keep doing it, Matthew, to Los Cobos. That's where they went. They went they took off when you stopped doing them. Melaine Carboni, that's what we do here, as long as it's a good question. Doc, train your body, sharpen your mind, respect the grind. Run hard, listen harder, stay humble. Boot camp will test you, but it will forge you. I like that. From a Marine dad, earn the title, never quit. Never quit or give up. That's your senior drill instructor speech day one in your training company. Never quit or give up. Boot camp's hard, man. It's hard. Harder for some than others. And some, every now and then someone will say, boot camp was easy. I had fun at it. And there are a few like that. Not the first week, though. There's no way. That was miserable for everyone. Good, Devin. Appreciate that. Plyometrics. I'm gonna just do a little research so I can get smart on it, because that's an option. Plyometrics. Duct tape 3 20-pound sacks of rice together, start lifting. 20 push-ups before and after each head call. I'm telling you, I would put in my offices when I was active duty, I'd find a way to get pull-up bars either in my office or right outside my office, anywhere. Pull-ups is something you got to do. You just got to keep doing them in more than one time a day. You got to do them. That's how you get better at them, right? You want to break that 23. It's 23 now is a perfect score. Used to be 20. Used to be 20. You used to be able to kip. Kipping really does help. I could do almost twice as many kipping Dead hang, that's a little harder. But there you go. Anderson O. Duct tape 3 20-pound sacks of rice together. Anything. You'd be surprised what you can find when you go in the field or in combat. We were lifting tires and rims and rolls of engineers, rolls of barbed wire. Those are heavy, right? Stick one on each end of a tent pole. You got a curl bar, whatever. You can make a gym. Or use plyometrics and just body weight stuff. If I may ask, what's your favorite pistol, AR? So, Melaine, Carboni. I'm not one of them gun gurus. I didn't shoot before I joined the Marine Corps, so I fell in love with the M16A1. But I fell in more love when the M4 came out. M4. So after retirement, I loved it all the way through. I bought a couple of them after I got out. The 9mm Beretta, the first pistol really that I fired and qualled with and took to combat. So I fell in love with the Beretta, but my favorite pistol now, and this was a retirement gift, was a 6-hour P220. I know there's issues with one for a while. I've never had an issue with it. 6-hour P220. Still like the 9mm Beretta, the Beretta 9mm better. But I don't have a big, this is my very favorite, and I got to get one of these. I have a couple 45s, a couple 9mm, a couple 22s, a couple shotguns, but I love the M4. I absolutely love it. All right, Hunter Collins is back. What's up, Hunter? Good to see you. JTB, my advice outside of PT is learn how to make a rack. Make your first morning better and help your rack mates make his or hers. Solid. That is solid advice. I don't think I've ever talked about it. Producer has been telling me we wanted to do a video on how to make a rack, but we don't discuss that enough because that is a headache, getting that rack, and it's never going to be perfect. But the better you can make it before you go, huge. That is good. Marcos, I only did 20 after I got out. Man, damn the timing. Carboni, they really do like the M4. Hunter Collins says, since last stream I learned that Marine Corps does not accept medical retirees post-separation. I'm currently working with other branches to explore my options. Thank you for motivating me. Get after it, brother. I'm telling you, and I believe that. I'm quite sure the Army would be the first one to take you. But I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. Army or Marine Corps does not accept medical retirees after separation. Good to know.
Did you see John Jenkins?
No, did I miss it?
Yes.
I know how to do it myself now, so I'm gonna. Uh-oh. Oh no, I don't. I can't. Can you read it, please? Or is it new?
Said there's a video going around the internet of Marine recruits and their DI clowning in the barracks for desecrating the American flag.
What?
Someone needs to be held accountable. I can't find it though. I looked.
Everybody heard that from John McJunkin. He said there's a video going around on social media right now. Is it on YouTube? Of drill instructors and recruits clowning around, desecrating the American flag. Producers looking for it right now. Ain't no way. And yes, somebody needs to be held accountable. Unreal. Where Paris Island? It's got to be Paris Island. Just kidding. Wherever it is. Unreal. Randy says there are high school gyms, public playgrounds, pull-ups, monkey bars, tracks. There's pull-up, anything's a pull-up bar. The doorway, right? Work on your fingertip grip. You can find a way to make pull-ups. In my first school on JRTC, they didn't have pull-up bars. They didn't have a JRTC program. We were the first ones there. We used the batting cages. The net had fallen down years ago. They never replaced it. So the bars, the frame that made up the batting cage, that was our pull-up bar. Pull-up bars everywhere. Good point, though, Randy.
$30 on Amazon.
Or $30 on Amazon. Get one that you hang in your doorway. Those kind, yeah. Ocelot. Want to go into R&D, research and development, but want to go back to lead as an officer. Would going ground intel be a decent foot in the door? Been out 2.5 years, major BS, computer science, major BS. You have a major in computer science. So would that be a smart move to go back in as an officer to ground intel 100%? No doubt. I got nothing negative to say about any of that. Yes, do it. And whenever they tell you you can't do something, put in a waiver for it and get it. You already have your degree in computer science. That's awesome. Congratulations. Bill D. All right, brother. Black Diamond. Hello, sir. Peace and love to everyone. Amen. Can you send Powwow? Can you send me some of them MREs for free? You kidding me? You know how much MREs are? How much are they? Individual, like $15. Case is $100 and something. All right. Ain't no way it's parasilent. Ain't no way it's parasilent, respectfully. Them muggy mornings and sand fleas make Marines. Trenchfoot. Hills. She's still looking for it. Nothing? We need to find a way. McJunkin, if you still have it, send it to our email address in there. We'll definitely talk about it. Anthony Reed is back. Good to see you, Anthony Reed from Colombia. And Wojowsko from Poland. Good to see y'all. I know how much they cost. That's why I asked for free ones. And here's some foreign language. All right. Once again, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday. SFMF Live. We're 7 days and a wake up till Christmas. Hit the like button if you could. Hit the like button. Check out the green names. Those are members. $1.99 to become a member. You get the pre-flight with us. You get some members. Can you put up some of the emoji that the producer made? Pop those up. You get the pre-flight with us. You get an Eagle Globe and anchor next to your green name. Your name will be in Marine Corps green. And that the color just depicts how long you've been a member. The darkest one, I think it's blue, is a new member. So if you join tonight, you won't see it tonight, but next time we go on, you'll see it. And then yellow is the most senior one right now. It's 6 months or more. The 1 year marker is pretty cool. We're very excited to see who hits the 1 year mark first. Thanks, Doc. There's those emoji members. That's what the emojis, those are the emojis that you get to use as a member. MRE does cost more than a McDonald's meal. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Anthony Reed, did Parasign get those barracks fixed up? We haven't heard anything about the barracks. I know they're always working on barracks. They work on housing, on bases in general. It's a 10-year span, and this was like 20 years ago when I learned this, so it may be different now, but they spend 10 years working on the barracks for the single Marines, getting it nice and ready and livable. But in those 10 years, housing kind of deteriorates. So then they swap. 10 years straight, they work on base housing for the families, but then the barracks go down. So hopefully they got a better system now. Memory, 92MR2, new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the like button. Tell your friends. Hang out for a while. Let us know what you think. They're way better for you than making these MREs, although they cost more. If you're active duty, they're pretty much free. You really do pay for them. When you go to the field, that's your per diem. They should be taking your per diem out and giving you MREs. So take the MRE, whether you want it or not. If you're hungry or not, take each MRE that you rate, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you don't eat it, bring it home. And yes, they're much better for you than McDonald's. Wojowskos from the Polish Armed Forces, serving alongside U.S. soldiers stationed in Bolestawik. That's it. Was I close? Bolestawik. Close. Thanks, Whoa, for being here. Appreciate you. And what's it like working with soldiers? Do you actually mean soldiers, Army? It's got to be Army goes to places like Poland. Marines typically don't. Memory. I retired it's been over 10 years now since I retired. So I was in for a long time and still a Marine, just not active duty. I was U.S. Coast Guard Reservist. All right. We got a Coastie in here. We got a couple Coasties throughout and a reservist. So what'd you do in the real world is what reservists say to each other, right? What do you do in the real world? Hunter, I learned married guys get MREs deducted from their subsistence allowance. They do. So that's what I'm saying. When you get issued those, single Marines pay for them also. It comes out. The company gunny should be taking a roster. I got 100 Marines. I need, for one day, that's 300 MREs, and you get, it comes out of your pay. You're paying for that. So if you don't need them, bring them home. Save them. B drop. Semper Fidelis. Devil dogs. Rah. Woj, what's your military rank? I retired as a sergeant major. You should check from, where'd that go? So catch up. Check out the Colombian Armed Forces. Semper Fi, do or die, Bierman. Still double tapping. Everyone hit double tap. Thanks, old Irene. Doc Holiday. So there's no shortage of workout videos, but few focus on military fitness. Would you support creating content that builds real strength and endurance? There's a difference between looking. Man, Doc, you've been talking to the producer. She's been getting on me about doing that. I think people don't want to hear that. They don't want somebody to tell them how to work out because there's so many, but clearly they do.
They need to be told exactly.
Yeah, it's specifics, and you know Marines do all the time, and even cadets. They would ask you, can you write out a workout for me? Can you tell me what you do? And I do, and I kind of do it on the fly. I even put it, my old school, put it up on the dry erase board, a 5-day workout, specifics, but on the docket. Doc, thanks, brother. I'm on it. Hunter Collins said, I spoke to that gentleman in the Space Force. Oh, good. He said it is disturbingly peaceful and it mirrors civilian job intensity with military structure. Disturbingly peaceful. It's not doing a whole lot. Can you get him on the show, Hunter? Can you get him just to join in and watch, and we can ask some questions? Favorite MRE? Omelet with ham. Yes, I know a lot of people don't like that. Scrambled eggs. Do they have scrambled eggs? I used to make the omelet with ham scrambled. You need it, right? I'm telling you, I'd ball it up and I'd get it ready, open it up. It would be, sometimes I would eat it as an omelet, just slide it up the package. All right. URAH from Fort McCoy. Good to see you, Fort McCoy. Thanks for being here. All right. I've been rambling long enough. We're going to do roll call at the top of the hour. So in about 30 minutes, we're doing roll call. Blessings to you all. Thanks for being here. Really is our professional privilege and personal pleasure to have a community like this. It really is. It's awesome. We appreciate all y'all being here, your input. Everybody learns. This is one of them channels where everyone's learning, not just about each other, but each other's service, about each other's backgrounds, and post-service, right? Kind of another part of why we do it. Other countries. Colombian Army only goes within the country, but went to Israel. Like, who knew that? Anderson Ho. Save the MREs for when power goes out in the barracks. Great point. Seriously. Otherwise, you can just call Domino's. Just need the grid coordinates. Make sure the battery gunny and the first aren't. Get a pizza too. That's how you keep from getting in trouble. When the company gunny sees the Domino's truck rolling up and he's furious, when you get your pizzas, say, oh, that last one, company gunny, that's for you. And he'll still yell at you. He'll take his pizza, but that's all it'll be. So be ready. Arnie Collins, that's before my time, the same as the veggie omelet. Yeah, but the veggie omelet wasn't good. It's the omelet with ham. You have to have the omelet with ham. CB Me, thank you for your service. Thank you for being someone worthy of serving. CB Me. If you serve, thank you for your service. Franken beans, circa 91. The Franken beans are the 5 fingers of death. Yep, WW still need an LDO on the podcast, and we know one. We're going to get him on. Again, it's been crazy around here, but we have one. Someone I served with, both enlisted. We're going to get him on. Should I move on? I don't know if she's talking to me. Randy, must admit it took me a bit to understand this channel is beyond old Marines swapping stories. It's important that we encourage young folks to learn about the Corps, a community of learners. Amen. With that, Randy, we're moving right into it. How to prepare for Marine Corps boot camp. No gym required. You hear me say it all the time, be physically fit. Physically fit, mentally tough, know some drill, know some knowledge, know some history, have the right attitude. Those are all things to help prepare. But if some of you experienced members on here, do you remember what you did prior to going to boot camp? How did you specifically prepare for Marine Corps boot camp physically? You go to the Poolee functions and they go on a run, do some pull-ups, right, some crunches, and that was kind of it. And if you're lucky, that was 3 days a week at some recruiting stations or substations. Sometimes it was once a week. And the recruiters do their best. Recruiters are busy, but they hold the meetings and they want to introduce you to PT. But it's up to you. It's the discipline part of it to really prepare. You can find anything online. You can Google anything nowadays. So Google the IST. And I'll tell you right now, the IST seems pretty simple to me. And I would tell somebody, yeah, you need to do pull-ups, crunches, or pull-ups, planks in a 1.5 mile run. But specifically, say you can't do a pull-up at all. That's the specific part that, and you can pull up any number of videos on how to do pull-ups. Watch them, and you don't need a gym. Find your local playground, the swing set. Use that bar as a pull-up bar. The monkey bars, right? There's places around that you can do pull-ups, and it's a muscle, many muscles that work the pull-ups that you can do it every single day. So 3, minimum is 3. To go to Marine Corps boot camp, you have to be doing 3 pull-ups. And here's what I recommend for those that can't do 1. First is get on the bar. You got to get on the bar. You got to do it. If you can't do 1, it's going to be hard. 1, you're going to lose motivation right off the bat. So take somebody with you or find a way to do an assisted pull-up. From the small of your back, push up. Have your partner push you up from the small of your back. Not grab your feet, right? Accidents can happen, especially if you can't do a single pull-up. Someone's holding your feet, your ankles, your legs are bent, your hands slip off the bar, you're doing a phase dive, right? You're going to lose some teeth. Have someone push you from behind the small of your back until you can comfortably do 1 on your own. Then do that 1, get off the bar, do some push-ups, do a plank for a minute, just nonstop, repetitive, over and over. Then you'll be able to do 2, then you'll be able to do 3, then you can do a pyramid. Do 1, do 2, do 3. Do 3, 2, 1. Whatever you can get up to, whatever your max is, do that max, you get 7. Take a rest, shake it out, do some push-ups, and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pyramid is a very, very common pull-up exercise. But you got to do it. And because it works so many muscles in your body, it works your back, your forearms, your biceps, your triceps, your abs, all that upper body. It works your entire upper body. So you're not just working on 1 large muscle. You're working on many muscles so you can do it consistently and constantly, every single day, at least 1 time a day. You can do them multiple times. I was talking about earlier, I used to put pull-up bars in my office or near my office. Anytime a Marine came in, we were talking about something. Yep, good to go. Hit some pull-ups on your way out. Right? Chow halls. Any Marine Corps base, there's always pull-up bars outside the chow hall. Knock out a set of pull-ups before you go eat. You're working many muscles where you're not going to overwork that muscle or any one of the muscles that it takes. You want to obviously pass the IST 3. Come on, that's minimum. Going into boot camp doing 20 or now 23, amazing. And that's 1 less thing you have to worry about. So depending on when you dip in, how much time you have, work on pull-ups specifically. You see John McJunkin? Where can I send the video to you? So that's the right there. Producer just put it on. I'm just catching up. All right, so that's minimum. And remember, Marines don't ask what the minimum score is. They ask what the maximum score is. And then certain Marines ask, what's the record? Because I'm going to beat that in boot camp. I don't know. Anyone know the record for pull-ups in boot camp right now? When I was there as a drill instructor, it was like 130 or something. It was something ridiculous. I don't remember what it was. What didn't happen while I was there, but it's posted up. Or no, maybe I don't remember what it was. Who knows the record for pull-ups in boot camp? Next is the planks. Planks replaced crunches, which crunches replaced sit-ups. Old school, Randy and them, used to do it, fingers interlocked behind your head, pulling up all the way, elbows touching the thighs. Someone holding your feet, your legs bent. Scientists figured out that that's bad for your back and neck because you're wrenching on your neck. Not good. They changed that from sit-ups to the crunches. Arms crossed over your chest. You can hold your shirt. Couldn't you? I think you could hold your shirt. You just can't reach out for your thighs. Your arms had to stay, and that's more of a crunch, working just your ab area. And I don't even know why they changed it from, I still do crunches. I love crunches. I think they're great. But they changed the crunch to a plank. Now, a plank is almost like the position of attention on the ground. You're in a push-up position, the leaning rest, except you're on your elbows, right? Forearms, fists closed, about a fist apart, straight in front of you. I think you can look down. Yeah, you can look down. And your back is completely straight. And you have to remain still the whole time. For the IST, it's 1 minute. 1 minute's pretty easy. 1 minute for the IST. The max score or the perfect score in boot camp is 3:45, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. 3:45 is pretty tough. I think that should be a whole lot harder though, like 5 minutes or so. I don't know, 3:45 doesn't seem to me that you should get 100 points for that. But easy. And the way you work on planks, just like pull-ups, is you got to do them. And you're working so much core strength. You're not working on just one muscle. You can do them every single day, right? Increase it from 1 minute to 1:10, right? Or max out. You want to max out every time. 1:20, 1:30. By the time you hit boot camp, you should be doing 3:45. That's a perfect score. 100 points. You do the IST day one of training. You have to pass that. If you don't pass it, I think you retake it like in that afternoon. If you fail again, that's when you go to PCP, Physical Conditioning Platoon, or Pork Chop Platoon. You don't want to end up in PCP. Again, you're already starting behind your peers. Everyone you went to boot camp with, they're going to graduate before you. You're getting dropped to PCP. You work out all day, every day until you pass the IST. Then they put you in training. So they find the next company that was on T1. You join them, T1, take the IST, you pass, you're good to go. You don't want to do that. You don't want to extend your stay at either depot longer than 13 weeks. Don't do it. Be ready. All right, so that's pull-ups and the plank. Last one is a 1.5 mile run. Remember, this is just the IST, not the PFT. This is just to enter boot camp. 1.5 miles in 13 minutes, 13:30. 13 minutes, 30 seconds. Most high schoolers can easily run a mile in 8, 9, or 10 minutes. 10-minute mile is pretty slow, right? That's extremely slow, especially if you're only doing 1 mile. You should be in the 5, 6, 7 range. So you figure, say you do it, we'll say 8 minutes, 8-minute mile, then your half a mile has to be in 4 minutes, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's still 12 minutes. So 8-minute mile, you're running a 1.5 miles. 8-minute mile, half a mile is 4 minutes. That's 12 minutes. You should be able to do that comfortably for the IST. 1.5 miles. How do you increase your run time? I'm going to need some input on this because I'm not a fast runner, but I can run forever. I just like to run. I love to run. And I'm not a speed demon, but I literally can just, like Forrest Gump, I just feel like running. And I can run forever and maintain a pretty good pace. In my running days, in my active duty days, I was always around a 20-30, right? 20 minutes, right? 18 minutes is a perfect score. Came close to it a couple of times, but I never got less than 18 minutes. But I always hovered around 20 minutes, 20, 30. As I got older, 21 minutes. And the grading is for your age. So still getting first classes, just not as fast as when I was a young era. The IST is 1.5 miles. You should be able to do it comfortably in the front of the pack. Work on those 3 things. Oh, back to running. A lot of people say sprints help your long distance run time. I believe it, but I'm not a sprinter, so I just didn't do it. I just kept running. To prepare for a PFT, what I used to do is run PFTs, right? All 3 events. I would run it for a couple weeks, for about a month prior to the PFT. And I never liked doing the PFT. It's always stressful, very, very stressful. Even though I had been doing it, I knew I was going to pass. It's still a little bit of stress, a little pressure is put on you to do well. And you're running, take out, boom. The company gun is go, and you're running with your whole company, which is kind of good in a way, because there's certain people that ain't no way in heck I'm going to get beat by this guy. So that's the motivation to kind of push harder on the run. Running by yourself and pushing yourself takes a whole lot of discipline. When I run by myself, I get tired. Guess what? I'm going to slow down. Who's going to know? So run with a partner, preferably someone who can run faster than you. But you got to hit the pavement one way. Again, the ellipticals, all those new machines they have. Even rode on one the other day at the High Rocks, a self-propelled, where's Kimi Kokopus? Self-propelled treadmill. There's nothing on it, no electronics anywhere. You get on it, and as you walk it, pretty amazing machine actually, because you go as fast as your little legs will take you. But that was a pretty good machine. It doesn't do enough for hitting actual pavement though. So do that. If you're going to do the treadmill and the elliptical and the stairs and all those, that's great. But you got to hit the pavement. What is that? The self-propelled
Oh, the
treadmill?
It is a treadmill.
Yeah, treadmill, but it's self-propelled. It's pretty cool. So again, specifically, if you need to hear from a video, if you're one of those, I see guys in the gym all the time, they do an exercise, they write it down. They look on, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. This is the whole part of remember where you came from. I did that decades ago. I would write out my workout, or I'd get it from somewhere. Muscle and fitness magazines, right? They're not just for looking at those gigantic dudes on there. It's to get workout routines. And that's where I'd get my workout routine tailored to me of, which exercises I like to do. But then just keep track, right? Now I've been working out on and off my whole life for so long. I kind of know what I want to do. On my drive into the gym, okay, I'm going to do these 4 exercises. I'll finish up with this, the last good pump, right? It's because we've done it for so long. Those that are just starting out need to be told these things. So that's exactly why we're sharing. B. Callan 1. Love the videos, brother. Wow. I'm not even going to try and guess what color that big box is. Brother, B. Callan. Thank you. That's amazing. Or BC Allen.
I don't know, maybe it is. Is it Brian Callen?
Is it Brian Callen? Is that you, Callen? Or is it BC Allen? Let's hear from you, brother. Amazing. Thank you. Let's tell us your story. That is awesome. I haven't checked the comments in a while, so I hope I didn't miss anybody. Miss anything crazy. I saw that pop up out of my peripheral. Always got to look at your peripheral. It's always being hyper vigilant. Thank you, BC Allen. We want to hear from you. Thanks for being here. WW, Sergeant Major, I had to be under 10 minutes for 2 miles run in basic. That's what the Marines should be. I like that. Under 10 minutes and two 5-minute miles? What were you trying out for?
Oh,
What?
my computer just crashed.
Oh. John Winstead. When I was 16 years old, my stepfather, Staff Sergeant Antonio Carlos, had me doing 3 miles in 18 minutes. Nice. He said, you'll need this later, so shut your pie hole and get after it. Best advice. Screenshot that, everyone. Shut your pie hole and get after it. That's all you got to do sometimes, man. I was telling the members about this short that somebody sent me, And this guy was saying, Lamar or something, he's like, stop making excuses. He never said that, but he said, the reason you can't run is because you're acting like a, you know what? The reason you can't lose weight, not because you have food allergies, it's because you're acting like a, so get after it. No excuses. BC Allen, where you at? We want to hear from you. Hi there. Are you a recruiter? Just curious. Was 198. I wasn't. I never did recruiting duty. I always wanted to. I was a drill instructor. Wanted to do recruiting after seeing the DI side and some of the turds that they sent us. And we damn recruiters send this guy can't do a single pull up. But I never was. Ex-British infantry, big fan of the Marine Corps. Mark Ellis. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your service. Mark Hankins. What's up, Mark? My first sergeant at age 60 outran me at 18 in Okinawa. He ran 2030, 3rd FSSG, 2030. That was my golden time. I maintained that as I exited out of the Marine Corps, 2030. I wasn't 60, and I don't know if I could do that by the time I reach 60. That's awesome. Mark, you bring up a good point. I'm going to touch on that for a minute because I've been PTing my whole life with the Marine Corps, and then I went right into JRTC after I retired. And these kids were from freshmen, so 15 up to 18, sometimes 19 years old. And I was older at the time, in my 40s, and I could still wear them out. Of course, there were some studs that I couldn't keep up with, but a majority of them, I would wear them out. And I'm still old. I mean, I'm only getting older. It's a mindset, man. I used to tell them, how in the heck are you going to let this 40-something-year-old man smoke you in a 3-mile run? You kidding me? You're 16. You're fit. You get after it. It's a mindset. One, and I'll be first to admit, when you're leading the run, it's much easier because you go at your pace. You get super tired, you can slow down, right? If you're feeling extra good, you can take off. Everyone else has to go off of your lead. So those of you lead a run, I mean, you're a beast if you're up there and you're dropping some people, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Remember where you came from. Remember what it was like being in the middle of a platoon and you're struggling because you don't know that guy's pace or that girl's pace, and you can't. You have to do however they're feeling. So it is harder running in a platoon. But a PFT or running on your own or running with your squad, boom, get after it. Shut your pie hole and get after it. I like that. Jay Bradburn, Semper Fi. Oh, did I miss? Watch Heartbreak Ridge. Great movie. Who just said that? Watch Heartbreak Ridge. They had a gunny as a platoon sergeant. Our gunny's in charge of platoons. Sometimes. WW. That's often. Yeah, that platoon sergeants are typically staff sergeants, but staff sergeants and gunnies. And I've been on some deployments where we had sergeants as platoon sergeants. A lot of things happen in combat. People get injured. People get KIA'd. People get promoted, right? So a lot of shift happens in combat. Ideally, you want all your team leaders as corporals, squad leaders as sergeants, your platoon sergeant as a staff sergeant. That's like TO, table of organization. That's in a perfect world. Doesn't always happen like that, but a gunny as a platoon sergeant, that's common. All right. Here's BC Allen. Prior service, Army, HUA. Nothing special about me. I was an 88 millimeter. 88, Mike, 88. What is that? My biggest regret was getting out and not realizing how much I missed it until it was too late. Brother, I think a lot of us can share that sentiment. I miss it all the time, right? And I stayed in for quite a while. I think a lot of people do miss it. And they don't realize it right away. I use Iraqi deployment as a big one when I was in 5th Marines, when we were doing back-to-back-to-back deployments. As a young Marine, you do 3 back-to-back deployments, and you want nothing more than just to get out. but then they realize the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the love of the Corps, and they want to get back in. So I hear you, BC Allen. Motor transport operator. That's a good foundation. Are you doing that? Anything that relates to that now in your civilian world, in the real world? Motor transport operator. Motor T. You call, we haul. Producer, do I need to read yours? John McJunkin received, watched, and will share with Cece. This, in my opinion, is not MCRD, but either Clowns in a Barracks JROTC program or a military academy with wannabes. Wow, you found it. Doesn't look like drill instructors. Are they wearing smokies? It still doesn't mean, anyone can get a hold of a smoky. So those of you just joining us or you missed John McJunkin earlier, he said he saw a video of drill instructors and recruits.
One drill instructor.
Oh, one drill instructor with some recruits clowning around in a squad bay, desecrating the Marine Corps flag.
You know what, they're
The,
not recruits, because they're all wearing different outfits.
yeah, it's
They've got phones.
probably not recruits. Some idiots. Just if they're desecrating the American flag, then they're definitely idiots. But we'll watch it and we'll share commentary on it after. KD, thank you, brother. Thanks for being someone worthy enough to serve. And if you served, thanks. Stop saying that. Is that what that means? P. Wells, good to see you. Randy says, has any Marine or other veteran here ever done run of attrition? I did one, but I made it. Run of attrition. That sounds like something I would do. I never called it that. I used to, when I was in that URAH shape, I used to just run, right? We'd always circle back and pick them up, but I'd take off. But that's what small unit leadership is for. That's what squad runs, fire team runs, squad PT, platoon PT. So you can go on a company run, everybody makes it. You want your whole platoon to make it. When there's a drop and the company gun and first sergeant have to go pick up a drop and they're pissed off, you don't want it to be one of your Marines. So the small unit leaders should be thrashing their Marines so they're in shape for the company run. Just like the company doesn't want any run drops when you go on a battalion run. So small unit leadership, make sure everyone is in shape. All right, Hunter Collins says, a gentleman from the Space Force went Navy, Marines, Space Force to explain his comment of disturbingly, so he's on here, I didn't see it, disturbingly peaceful. Oh, that's what his comment was, yeah. Disturbingly, yeah, to go from Navy to the Marine Corps to the Space Force, he's got to be bored to tears. 88 Mike is transportation career, all right. I like the Air Force, but not the Navy. Semper Fi brother, just got my dream job, Platano 0311. That's your dream job, 0311, right there. Hurrah. Congratulations. Just got offered a director role, and honestly, I'm humbled myself because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Marine Corps. Amen to that. That's awesome. Congratulations. All right, what's best guide for boot camp if you're small? Anthony De Leon. That's a great question too. What's the best guidance? I think you're asking what's the best guide for boot camp if you're small. First of all, size don't matter. In my time as a drill instructor, I've had the biggest guy as a guy and one of the smallest. My very best guide was short, stocky. This dude was URAH. So he was small on the smaller side, but he was my most intense. I did 8 cycles. He was the most intense. So don't let that hold you back from anything. Your pack's going to be heavier, right? You're going to have to keep up. It's going to be harder to keep up on hikes. The obstacle course is going to be a little harder because things are for an average height. Probably Marine 5'10" is your average, is what they say. So it's going to be a little more difficult for you in terms of that physical, but don't let that stop you. It doesn't matter. Size don't matter. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. URAH. BC on. Yes, became a truck driver. Oh, see, you did. Yes, I became a truck driver pretty much directly afterward. I'm not good around people anymore, so being myself and I keeps me out of trouble. Good on you. At least you recognize that in a career. Hopefully you love it. Good for you. All right, here we go. Memberships. If you've asked, Randy, if it was time, everybody look, Randall Knapp just gifted 5 free memberships. So if you're receiving one right now, that's from Randall Knapp. Please give him a shout out. Jared, Down the Shed, Immense, LA Thorn, JJ. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate you, brother. Lay Cookie says, if you're small, you're just going to have to be tenacious because they're gonna give you a machine gun to carry you. Yeah, no doubt. They're going to give you the heaviest load because they're going to test you. So just be ready. Hunter Collins, you just get that from Randall? All right. Look at that. Randall the GOAT. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate you, brother. What? Oh.
Just say thank you.
I was just saying thank you in general. Oh, sorry. All right. How to prepare for Marine Corps boot camp. We hit some topics. Hopefully, if you know someone getting ready for boot camp, guide them to this live so they can watch it, get some specifics, read some comments, find out what worked for you. It may not work for them, but they'll definitely get some ideas. I really would look through the muscle and fitness magazines when I was a little afraid to go to the gym. I didn't know what to do, so I look at the magazines, look at the exercises, and actually I read 2 things. One, their workout, and I'd skip all the BS and go to their diet. I'd find out what they're actually eating. Someone told me that's not them, that's just a writer putting some stuff in. Either way, it was pretty good advice. So that's where I got my workouts from. Right? I didn't know what to do in the gym. And then now, years later, I'm just trying to maintain, right? Got some bumps and bruises and sore spots where I can't do what I used to then, but I do what fits my body. Right? And I work out by myself, so it's easier. I can do what I need to do for me. Burleson, good to see you. Thanks for showing up tonight. Awesome. How's things, man? What are you doing now? I saw your comments. What are you doing now? Chicken has arisen is here. Burleson, I'm trying to maintain. Look at it, I said all that just for you. I'm just trying to survive. Hunter Collins, we had a mountain of a man who was 4'8", and a waiver. That man had more heart than half the guys in the platoon during MCT. I'm telling you, size don't matter. Bill D, where'd I go for boot camp? Where the men go. Actually, females go there now too. Where the mountains are. Hollywood, baby. His name was Casabang. In boot camp, when I was recruited, I was the guide. And, I thought I was a tough guy. I remember going to chow one day, the guy counts the recruits in, go, 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 go. And you just stand there for whatever reason. All of a sudden, this little drill instructor came up to me. I'm telling you, he was for something. He came up to just start talking trash to me, thrash me. You think you're a tough guy? You think you're so tough? And of course, the right answer is yes, sir. And there is no right answer. If I'd have said no, he'd have thrashed me, he'd have dogged me. Either way, he was thrashing me. And then out of nowhere, he said, look at that platoon right there. It was a brand new mob slob. They've been there a day or two, right? In the gray sweatshirts, cami bottoms, tennis shoes, they look like a mob. He said, you think you're tough? It's third phase. You third phase recruit, you think you're tough? You're going to be a Marine? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, can you beat my guide? Of course. Yes, you got a first phase mob. You kidding me? I didn't say it like that, but I kept, yes, sir. He said, okay, wait right here. I'm going to go get my guide. He comes back with this giant, 6'8", I'm guessing, wide, just a ginormous mountain of a man like you're talking about. This dude was huge. Of course, what do you think now, guy? You still think you can take him? I said, yes, sir, I'm third phase, he's first, whatever. He saved me from a butt whooping, so I didn't have to fight the guy. But come to find out, he was an former Houston Oiler lineman that injured out. He had an injury that he got kicked off the team, and he joined the Marine Corps. Houston Oiler lineman. All right. Burleson, started my own welding business. Good on you. That's good business right there. Hard work though, yeah, but good business. All right. The other topic, I did a short on it. One habit every recruit needs. One habit every recruit needs. Time out.
How can we do a roll call at the top of the hour?
Oh, it's the top of the hour. Sorry, yes.
For that, oh, BCL just did, is it BCL or?
BC Callen. You got to tell us. I messed it up altogether. Is it BC Allen or is it B Callen? Just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you.
No, we did
Oh, all I see is 10. Let me try and. There it is. Sent 10 SFMF gift memberships. B Callen, thank you very much. If you're receiving one right now, those are from B Callen, my friend. Isaacs. I always try to read them all, but I'm trying too fast. Suit a bloke, Travis, Bustin' Dustin, Bannon, Red Devil. Thank you, BC Allen. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. The members, I'm telling you, pre-flight before and those cool icons. I mean, emoji. I wanted to see Randall's. Scariest experience in boot camp for me was a rare instance when a DI talked to me privately, like a person. That is something just eerie about that. Like this is not right. Something is bad is about to happen. Chicken has risen. Sound like one of my drill instructors. Soren Rodriguez was 4 foot nothing and weighed about 100 pounds and nothing but could just stare at you and you start sweating. Yes, that happens. Burleson, I did see on there you make your own hours. Beautiful. Be your own boss. That way you can't complain about the boss. Members. More family time. Burleson, amen.
He said he's big country,
Big country?
BCL.
Oh, BC Allen. Big country. All right. I like that. Bob McDoctor just got back from Christmas PT, still leaving in July. You have helped me a lot, ask you questions sometimes and always get the answer. Christmas physical therapy or Christmas physical training? Gung Ho. Adsimus. Our Chief Warrant Officer 5 is here. They're real. Chief Warrant Officer 5s are real. What's up, WW? Good to see you. Big Country Allen was my nickname in service. Big Country. All right. How big a boy are you? Greening it up here, Hunter Collins, right? Looks good. But I'm hitting the bunk. Good night, y'all. Big Country, appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Huge. Glad to have you on the show. Stay motivated. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Sunday, shorts in between. Next week, where's Lay Cookie? Not next week. Sunday, we have a special guest. Sundays live. Be here Sunday. It's going to be an awesome guest on our show. Good night, Big Country. All right. Chicken, he got orders to my rack. That's good. Physical training. All right, Bob McDoctor. It's usually every Thursday, but we did it today and are skipping Thursday for the holidays. That's legit. One habit, adaptability to change. Anderson, I like it. I'm gonna do roll call, and then we're gonna hit on that. Anderson Ho. I might ask you again, but adaptability is key. And I have one on here I'll talk about. All right, roll call. Ray from Queens. We always miss him live, but he watches them the next day because he is a workaholic. Get after it, Ray. Semper Fi, brother. Hope you get a chance to watch it or come on live Sunday maybe. Carl Green is not here yet. Where's Carl? Doc Holliday, David Bryant. Hope you're feeling well. David Bryant, Lake Cookie's here. Randy and Ellie are here. Anderson Ho came out strong. Menachem, Ed Creedon, Carrie Ann Marie Potts. Where you at, Carrie Ann Marie? Jordan Hammond, Heavy J, Bryce Wyborg, Richard Bridges, JEU, which is AKA Utley, Matthew Askren. Chicken has arisen. Michael, where's Michael's drones at? Zombie Blood, Cave Diver. Hot Rod, where you at, Hot Rod? That's Gunny Rod. Jared, JTB is here. John McJunkin and crew. Gunny East, old Jaireen. Mark Hankins, USMC vet. Keenan Lindsay. Eric S., his brother, Eric Green. Sergeant Stacking, Jay Dilly. Z Ping. Bob, 420 Network. Young Ma. J Dub, Kirby Dude. Big Red, Randy Hodder, Joshua Payne, OD, Oversized Detour. Salty Saxy made an appearance. WM, Dr. Gimpy. And Big Country, BC Allen. Whew. Let us know. Our board is getting full. Good to see y'all all the time. We appreciate you. You have a gunner on Sunday. You going to be here? Sunday, WW, good.
You said salty sexy, but that wasn't salty sexy, Sergeant Stacking.
Sergeant Stacking. I said Stacking too. Oh, that made the brief appearance. That was Sergeant Stacking, yes. Yes, my fault. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Add some us. I need to show you on my surfboard one time because I rewrote the Rifleman's Creed too. This is my surfboard.
See Robert Bass.
Robert Bass. I commented the other night about joining the Marines at 31 years old. Sadly not able to, but I was able to get set up and going through the process for Army National Guard. Love your stuff. All right. Good on you. And sorry to hear you couldn't. And there's obviously much more to the story. You can request a waiver. Maybe you already had, but glad to see that you're joining the Army National Guard. Good for you and good luck and stay with us. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. That's awesome. Mr. Grell, iron sights or optics for pistols? Both. Old school iron sight alumni, even with rifles, era. That's what I grew up with. That's what I trained with. That's what I qualified with. Excuse me. But I love a good sight. I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm getting older. My eyesight's not as good. Sights are amazing. Even the RCO recruits are qualifying with RCOs. That's not fair. It's realistic, and it is fair because you're going to use them in combat. Still learn how to use iron sights, how to manipulate them. Any chance you get to use a scope, use a scope. My opinion. Have a good night, Anderson Ho. See you, brother. Thank you. All right. God bless SFMS family. I'll catch up with you guys on Sunday. God bless you. Doc, thanks for being here. What's your favorite war movie? It's a toss-up between Braveheart and 300. My Marine Corps favorite war movie is Full Metal Jacket. Vietnam. Of course, I love the boot camp part, and I've been told, and I read it multiple times, pretty accurate for Vietnam. I don't know, I wasn't there, but I like the entire movie. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones. Anthony Reed, Captain's Master now being held in the pilot house muster. All accused and witnesses concerned outside the pilot house. All right. Hunter Collins, if you have time, could you share the story of Lord Admiral Nelson and why we shed a tear for him? I can, and I'm going to do a whole video on a mess night. But that's good. Lord Admiral Nelson, why do we shed a tear? Meaning make a head call during a mess night. I definitely will, Hunter. That's cool. I like that. All right. WW, did I do any fleet time? 300 is a banger, right? Full Metal Jacket is the undeniable USMC film. So, I mean, did you do any fleet time? You mean like back in group? Like in garrison? I did. Didn't like it as much as combat. Randy, have a good night, brother. We'll see you on Sunday. Tell Ellie we said hello and good night. All right. Back on track. One habit every recruit needs. I did a short on it. If you get a chance, watch, like it, comment on it. When we were discussing it, first thing that came to mind was discipline. I know it's not really a habit, but then putting more thought into it, that's a trait, right? A leadership trait. You can make it you can make it whatever you want. But if you can make it a habit, right? If that's possible, make discipline a habit. When do you need it? Your entire life. All through school, of course, and in your family and stuff, but you definitely need it in boot camp. You need it in SOI, MCT. You need it in your MOA. You need it in the fleet. You need it all throughout your career. You need it when you get out. So if that could be a habit, and all kinds of things will come to mind. Marines have some pretty bad habits, right? People in general have some bad habits, and you want to quit them. And every January 1st, right? I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop eating out, whatever. Those are all habits that kind of come and go. Can you be so disciplined that it becomes a habit? It'd be nice in boot camp. You'd be doing yourself a favor and the drill instructors. If your automatic instinct, you do it so much, it is a habit. Marines in the fleet, man, I'm telling you, I go on base as much as I can, really. I try to frequent base, use base gyms as much, and then stop at the PX after, get some gas, whatever. Try to utilize base. And I try to remain positive because there's some hard chargers. Man, there's some hard chargers out there. But then there's those ones with again, it's the Sergeant Major in me coming out, it just being a Marine, with the low blousing. No undershirt and their camis. It's been cold late recently, so Marines with their hands in their pockets. I'm retired, man. I'm not active duty anymore, but I look at the group that they're standing in. How come nobody's saying anything to this Marine? Like, you know better, right? And it takes when I walk by a group and he just takes another look, and they know their habit is to do it because nobody's looking. Make it a habit that, man, my hands are cold, and I'd like to put them in my pockets. This is not an appropriate time. In the field, sure, you're cold, you're doing cold weather training, yeah, common sense. But the professionalism, when you're going to the PX, the main exchange, the commissary, you squared away, man. We talked about it earlier in the show. Dress up. Don't dress down. You never know who you're going to run into, right? And an old haircut, I was thinking about this today too. A Marine, when does a good Marine need a haircut? See some answers on here. When does a good Marine need a haircut? I would accept a Marine that, say, typically gets them on Sunday, and he couldn't that Sunday, so Monday he's looking a little scraggly, but you can tell when he has a haircut, it's squared away. Regulation, 0 to 3, faded, less than 3 on top, just looks Arab, but it's kind of long all around. Vice, the Marine that gets the 0 to 3 in this much distance, 0 and then 3 inches, a big mushroom on top of their head. They do it because they can, because it's within regulations, 0 to 3 faded, it's not more, but it looks unprofessional. And it gives you that look of discipline is definitely not your habit. You don't get haircuts like that if you have discipline at all times, right? You know you're going to go to the PX. You know you're going to see other Marines. And who is it typically? I hate to say it. You didn't do that in boot camp. You didn't learn it in boot camp. You learn the correct way to do it and what it should look like. And example, your drill instructors are your example. But something happens when you get to the fleet and you get around that wrong crowd of the poorly bloused boots, no undershirt, sleeves rolled one time or just open. It just looked like a sack of potatoes. But you're within regs, right? You see it. Social media is just blowing up right now with all branches of service doing that crazy stuff, looking like a sack of potatoes when they do it. So if there's a way you can make discipline your habit, you can't do it. Remember, was it last week somebody asked me, have I ever worn a shirt other than a white T-shirt underneath my blue dress uniform? I didn't. I never in my career, nor will I even as a retiree. That part of me is a habit to any time I wear the uniform, it's going to be how it's intended to be worn, right? Never needing to shave. every weekend, every Sunday, every payday for a haircut. Never. Sand dunes, lake hook. It's a trick question. A good Marine never needs a haircut because he always has one. That's the difference. That's making discipline a habit. You never need a haircut. If you've ever been told when was the last time you had a haircut, that's translation, get a haircut. You need a haircut. Females, is your hair within regulations? If somebody has to ask you that, it's not within regulations. You need to square it away. The new female relaxed hair, I've seen some crazy, crazy female hairdos. If someone has to ask, or you think somebody looks twice, or you got to look in the mirror and say, man, is it time? It's way past time. Clean it up, right? Shaving in the morning. Man, do I need a shave today? If you got to ask, you need a shave, right? When was the last time? If somebody starts a sentence with that, when was the last time you got a haircut? When was the last time you shaved? When was the last time? You need to do those things now, prior to somebody asking you. That's making discipline a habit. All right. Gagooling. Are you an operator, at least combat Marine, or a POG? Great question. Combat arms. Doesn't matter, we're Marines. But yes, of course, you must be an operator or a grunt to even ask that question. But I still wear white skivvies to this day. Undershirts. Wear your undershirts. Weekly cuts on Saturday, Sunday, no earlier than Saturday and no later than Sunday. Everyone has their time, once a week, right? Typically, Marines get it once a week unless your hair grows extra fast or extra slow. But typically once a week. You want to show up Monday morning to work with a fresh haircut, right? Sundays, I remember in Okinawa as a young Marine, Sunday, the USO had the 2 barbershops packed. Everyone would wait till Sunday. And then we started cutting each other's hair. You find a way to do it, but prepare, right? Prepare for it. Zenro, I'm one of those beardo pagans that Pete said didn't exist, and I'm better groomed than 99% of people. The beards thing, again, will the Marine Corps ever allow it officially? I hope not, just for the sake of uniformity, right? And the squared awayness era. Once you get out, absolutely, do your thing. Marines should be in regulations in hair and hygiene standards from John McJunkin at all possible times when not in combat. For females, a high and tight. For males, high and tight. For females, comb back and ball. Comb back and ball. Again, I'm a big fan of the tight bun in the back, and I understand the doing stuff to their scalp, but some females have relaxed it way too much. Way too much. We need to get back to the era. All right. Bill D, lights out, era, recon. Pogue, warrant officer, appreciated. All right, Zenro, you're a Pogue. Warrant officer, appreciated. My thing was beards if we don't need to send babies to fight. Grow a beard like a man, but enforce a reg, not just talk about it. So, again, when it does happen, I don't know when in the Marine Corps will. Other services, I think, already do have beards. I see tons of Army guys with beards, Navy too. I don't know the other services regulations, if they are authorized or not. I know the fuculitis thing, right, the medical, if you have to grow it. The problem is they don't keep it within regs, and nobody enforces it, right? I've seen many other branches of service with some scraggly beards, some long beards, some nice cut. There needs to be a regulation. I agree. And it's that age group right around the NCO rank for the Marine Corps. Because you're right, the young ones, the PFCs and Lance Corps, they can't grow beards yet. Staff NCOs don't for the professional part of it. And it's that middle few that can finally grow a nice solid beard. And yeah, it looks tough, looks manly. It really does. But it's not within Marine Corps regulations. It's just not. Not all men have beards, but real men have good ones. Then you see some pretty, it looks tough. You see some pretty manly men with them beards. Not the Marine Corps. All right. I'm lower on the totem pole, Zen Royal. All right. John McJunkin, Sergeant Major. That video I was speaking to you earlier about can be found on Stoneface Patriot channel on YouTube. The producer found it, brother. We're gonna check it out. All right. How to prepare for boot camp? No gym required. We talked about that. Topic 2. One habit every recruit needs: discipline. Man, discipline is the foundation of everything. Instant willing obedience to orders. You got discipline, you got it all. The other short I did, which got a lot of comments, we talked about it a little bit on Sunday, today's Wednesday, is, are you a good Marine? Kind of rolled into it already with, again, the habits. Are you a good Marine? And in the short, real quick, I talked about, here's what a good Marine is. And let me hold that thought. A big orange box just popped up. Masked Patriot 07. I picked up Meritorious Corporal. Awesome. He's not a good Marine. He's an awesome Marine. That's the difference. Masked Patriot. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Earlier today, I was holding formation. They were at ease. However, some of them had their hands in their pockets talking and didn't look disciplined. So what'd you do? Awesome. Picked up Meritorious Corporal. Earlier today, I was holding formation. They were at ease. However, some of them had their hands in their pockets talking and didn't look disciplined. Mass Patriot. Again, well, I corrected those Marines. However, a couple of them tried telling me that they can have their hands in their pockets and they can talk. They're not really trying to be disrespectful. We've known each other since the schoolhouse. That's that problem, Mass Patriot. All kinds of colors keep popping up. Can you please tell the proper way to hold a formation in accordance to the orders? So I want to hear also about the picking up Meritorious Corporal part of it too. So congratulations. So yes, we can. According to the order, there's 4 positions of rest. 4 positions of rest, and it's actually a video. So look deep in the archive, find it. 4 positions of rest, and we talk about what you can do at each position. If you're in formation at the position of attention, you can't do nothing. None of that. Heels together, online, feet at a 45-degree angle, head and eyeball straight to the front, body locked. That's position of attention. So if you call them to attention, they can't do any of that. And that's a quick and easy way to get them to do what they're supposed to do. All right, just real quick. All right, stand by. Company, attention. Platoon, attention, whatever. Now their bodies are locked. They can't do any of it. And they know that. Everyone knows that. If they're just falling in, they're in a gaggle, they can talk and they don't have to have their right foot in place. They can move. They can move around. Hands in the pockets, again, that's something that is contested all throughout the Marine Corps. Marines don't put their hands in their pocket. It doesn't say it in the order. It's just something that Marines don't do, or they shouldn't do, because it's unprofessional. All right, General, somebody quoted General saying, a Marine with cold hands and empty pockets is an idiot, something like that. Field environment, combat's different. You always got to be ready, though. For one, I never want my hands jammed in my pockets. Anyway, it's an unprofessional appearance, and Marines are professional all the time. So if they're in a gaggle, they can do whatever they want. If they had been in formation and you gave them at ease, they can finally, now they go pop to the position of modified parade rest, right? Still keep their right foot in place, but it's much more relaxed. So they can talk in a low conversational tone. They shouldn't be moving. Again, boom, parade rest. Keep your right foot in place. Everyone keeps their right foot in place. You can do whatever you want. You can kneel down. You can kneel on that right leg, and you can talk. If you gave them rest or at ease, they can do all that. Parade rest is different. 4 positions of rest. Parade rest, rest, at ease, and fall out. Yes, we'll talk about fallout. But parade rest is not. It is a precision movement one count, parade, rest, boom. They're at parade rest, hands behind their back, thumbs interlocked, fingers extended and joined on the small of their back, head and eyeball straight to the front. That is a position of rest, and it's a formal position. They can't talk, cannot talk. But rest or at ease, they can. That's when they dig in their face, they scratch, they cough, they sneeze, they do whatever they got to do, keeping their right foot in place so they can talk. Fall out, somebody always forgets. The fourth position of rest is actually fall out. The difference between fall out and dismissed is if you receive the command fall out, you stay in the area, because the next command you're going to get, fall in. So you're not dismissed, you can't leave the area. Fall out. Fall out, mill about. Next command is going to be fall in. Dismiss, you need to take off. That means you're dismissed for the day. You don't have to fall back in. So, hope I answered that question. Masked Patriot. I read the order that talking is only allowed while you're at rest, not at ease. Did I misread that? No, maybe you didn't. Rest at ease, it says do not talk. I'll have to look it up again. But a lot of people don't even use rest. They use at ease, and I think over the course of time, people take at ease as rest, right? And that's how I think I explained it in the video I did. Rest, you can do all that. At ease is when you scratch, dig, fix your blousings, whatever, square away your uniform, cough, sneeze, fart, poop, whatever you got to do. Rest is you can talk. It is allowed while you're at rest. So again, back to how do you control that situation? Call them to attention, right? And if you're not doing anything for a little while, then put them at parade rest, right? Or you're the corporate, you're in charge, backbone of the corps. Gents, I'm going to give you the command of at ease. You can move, keep your right foot in place, no talking, right? Or I'm going to put you at rest so you can just take charge of that situation, take charge of it all together. It's hard because you were boys with them, right? Last week, you're all Lance Corporals. No, bro, we can do that. Yesterday, no, bro, we can do it. They're going to talk like that only if you allow them. If you heard my story, I've told it probably too many times, but I got zero respect the day I got promoted to corporal. It took me a while. And even kind of well into it, I'd still people in the barracks, yo, CC. I heard it and the hair on the back of my neck because it should have been Corporal CC, but I didn't enforce it. That's hard, man. That's hard to do with your boys, right? You've been Lance Corporals together 2-3 years, right? In the trenches with these guys. But you're no longer CC, now you're Corporal CC. You're Corporal Masked Patriot. But you got to be the one to initiate it, right? You got to. And Lance Corporals out there, don't make it hard on that newly promoted corporal. Man, do the right thing. Have that discipline. Have that habit of discipline. Man, bro, sorry, I forgot you got promoted yesterday. Corporal Jones, right? Be a good follower because you're going to want that when you're a corporal. Man, when I'm a corporal, ain't nobody going to call me by my last name. Let someone try to call me. It's going to happen. It's how you react to it and be adamant about it, right? It's tough. Easy to say now, trying not to forget where I came from. I had a hard time because I was boys, man. We were boys. We did a lot together. And I'm a corporal. So it's got to be. Good on you, though. Again, congratulations and thank you. Right there from the producer. That was the short. Oh, that was the short. Here's the detailed video of the 4 positions of rest. I'm gonna have to watch it again too. I don't know if I said you can talk at ease or
I
not.
just looked up, it says only if the silence is the default.
Silence is the default. So can you talk at ease?
If you're spoken to.
If you're spoken to.
At parade rest, you can relax. It says that, what you wanted to say, parade rest?
Parade rest.
It says calm and attention. At parade rest, you may speak only if you're spoken to by senior or you're given permission explicitly or implicitly. You may not talk freely whisper or side chat, crack jokes, or comment without being addressed.
Nice. So you were right. You cannot talk at parade rest unless spoken to or explicitly given the authority or the given permission to speak at parade rest. At ease. You can't talk unless you're being spoken to or you've been given the permission to speak at ease. Rest, you can. You can chill and do all the things that sounds like they were doing. So if you put them at ease, they shouldn't have been talking. And that's when you call them back to attention. So I'm going to put you at parade rest, proper position of parade rest. All right, Hunter Collins. It's very touchy to make people push in the Corps. You have to prove that punishment fits the violation. A ton of pogues fall into being told that they have to exercise with them. Hunter Collins, very interesting. Those days of pushing and Jeremy Lindman, lead by example, teaching you guys your job while you learn your next job. That fits right into that and this. It's a very touchy to make Marines do push-ups. And pogues will say you're being told you have to exercise with them. So there's no order on it, so you're not going to find it in black and white anywhere, or you may. Nowadays, I don't know. Back when Lake Cookie and I, Randy and all of us, that was common. Push. Luckily, again, we weren't doing burpees back then, thank God. We were told to put in, and as a young corporal, I was making Marines push all the time. We did go through a phase, softer, gentler, maybe whatever you want to call it, whatever era you want to call it. It doesn't happen as much anymore. Depends on your chain of command, your leadership. Do they support you in it? Mass Patriot, what's the best position to make announcements in? That's good too. 99% of the time, I give at ease. 99%. Unless they're being rambunctious, just like the situation you had. So if that happens, parade rest. Back to attention and then to parade rest. 99.9 times, all right, at ease. Don't say stand at ease. Stand at ease is not a command. At ease. And then pass word. That way, if you do, okay, who still needs to go to the Army? I do. That allows them that authority to talk, right? Not on their own, not the sidebars, but that's so they can have a conversation with you. 100% though, or 99%, I put them at ease. And just say that. Don't, God, that's a pet peeve of mine. Stand at ease. That's not a command. At ease. That's it. Rest, again, I'm one of those guys. I very rarely use rest also. It's just people don't use it enough. Maybe use it. It's covered under the prohibited activities and conduct or PAC, Hunter Collins. I don't remember what we were talking about. What was I talking about before that?
Pushing.
Oh, yeah, pushing. Hunter, okay. Oh, it's covered under the prohibited activities and conduct or PAC. I've never even heard of that. Prohibited activities and conduct. Is that new? Is that an order, Marine Corps order? Or PAC? And what does it say? Attention to orders. Is that about pushing? Burleson, I gotta read this. I'm still mad at Sergeant Lett. I still hear from him every now and then. Held me back from picking up corporal. Should have picked up in under 2 years. Racism, oh no. Racism's still around. Still around. He helped back a lot of good Marines. Man, seriously? I don't know if I remember all of that, and I don't know. We can definitely get on the horn and talk about that, but sorry to hear that. And I don't know if you know what happened to him. He got released early. Zen Royale, I got to run, but thanks for kicking it and spreading wisdom to the folks. Thanks, Zen Royale. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. JP, you better lock your body. Just want to show some love while I put baby girl to bed. Gig 'em and lock your body. Saturday. Thanks, JP. Appreciate you, brother. I don't know if you've been noticing, if you can tell who likes your shorts, but I've been liking them babies. You need to let me know when you do your lives. I think I mentioned that before, but appreciate you. Get the babies to bed, lock your body, and don't forget to watch the game Saturday. Gig 'em. Playoffs, baby. Zenra, I'm a team chief. I'm a team chief, but I'll push with my Joe's. Okay, that's what I'm getting ready to talk about. Zenrel, thanks. Because we need to reset clearly if we're so damn jittery. And I say that to him, yes. You don't have to hang out for this, but back to Pogues are getting told that they have to push with them. I agree with that, 100%. Are there times that you just need to that kind of leadership that get down and push because you're that angry at them? There might be a few times where and you got a few and you're kind of thrashing a couple of them and you can't. But I agree, man. Back to lead by example, push with them. Really? Is that's what you guys are doing? Talking, smoking, and joking while we're trying to have a formation? Push. Let's go. Change your whole vernacular to let's push, right? You win. It's a win all the way around. One, you're making them pay. You're holding them accountable. You're doing it with them, so there's no disrespect there and there's no authoritarian. You're going to push because I say. Problem is a lot of leaders can't do 25 push-ups. A lot of leaders get in that mode. They're so used to telling everybody, like leading PT or marching a platoon. Well, come here, Corporal, you do it. You need to learn how to do it. I did my time. No, show them first. Do that. Do it with them. Do everything with them. And you're going to take them out to the O course. What are you going to observe? Watch them do the obstacle course over and over. That's right. Get up over here. You better hurry up. Do it with them. Everything. Do it first. Right? That old boring story I told about. I was in Bridgeport. We had to cross the river. I was the team leader for the day. Somebody had to get in the water. I was a team leader, so I could have picked anybody. Like, man, it's not going to be easy. So I got in the water, freezing. But then to tell the next Marine, okay, your turn, you have to go. You're going to set the anchor up. What could he say? Right, I just did it. It just did lead by example. So I agree with that. Do it with them. Pack covers a lot of stuff: name calling, hazing, bullying, social media, and the list goes on. It's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick PowerPoint, and it's considered annual training. Pack, I never heard of it. I have to check that out. USMC 0355 6. Semper Fidelis, brother. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. You have a Merry Christmas as well. Did I miss JP's comment when he goes live?
No, he didn't say.
Get them babies in bed. Appreciate you, brother.
You see Burleson said?
Burleson, yes. Send us an email to that email the producer put up a little while ago. If you don't mind putting it up again, shoot me an email, brother. We'll get on the hook. Would love to catch up. Undercons, course command makes a huge difference. You can't force a guy to run laps unless his 3 mile is lacking. Of course, my info is a year and some change old, so maybe SecWar has made changes. Maybe. And we do. We need to get back to the 80s. It's like the SecWar was talking about, back to the 80s. That's when you could. I'm telling you, the first couple of times, Lay Cookie, if you're still here, first couple punishments I received was, besides push-ups, digging a fighting hole. If you dig a fighting hole in Okinawa, Lay Cookie dug a whole Lay Cook canal numerous times. And also lost rank. So these were a little extreme. But punishment back then was, all right, smart guy, get out back. You're digging a fighting hole. And the only thing you had to worry about was it a 1-man, 2-man, or a 60 pit. A 60 M60 machine gun fighting hole was that big U-shaped. Right in the middle was for the machine gun. You had to be able to walk all the way around. That is no joke. That's when you know you screwed up, when they said you're digging a 60 pit today, because it would take you by yourself with your e-tool a good 10 to 12 hours while your team leaders sat around drinking beer watching you dig in that fighting hole. So, but it taught you a lesson. Again, everyone wins. fighting hole, you learn how to actually dig a fighting hole, then they give classes on it. Then you got to, the next person that gets in trouble has got to fill it up. There was training value to all that. So yes, to make someone run with them. Let's go. Smart Alec, all right. Let's go for a run. All right. Derek Big Horse. Is that the Derek Big Horse? What's up? Merry Christmas. Good on you. What are you doing for Christmas? Going home? You better be. Good to see you on here. Lake Cookie, good times. Lake Cook Canal. I was told horror stories about digging holes with sledgehammers and ID cards. They're true. All those stories are true, and we had a different core back then, a different discipline. Problem is, just like anything else, Marines are extreme. They took it to the extreme, right, with an ID card, digging a hole with the ID card. Come on, really, what kind of training value does that have? Now you just turned a disciplined learning lesson into hazing, right? I've never had to dig it with an ID card, but some e-tools, right? You're learning proper e-tool performance and maintenance, all while you're digging a fighting hole. Derek Bighorse, you can still have them dig fighting holes. You just have to justify the training. If there's training value to it, done. Definitely make you stronger and better at these combat positions. Yeah, it felt so old the other night, USMC 03. It felt so old the other night watching drill instructors dismiss the platoons for actual liberty. What year did we start giving recruits liberty? Now, I remember that you commented on a post and said just that. So it's been around forever. When I was a recruit. So a long time. I don't know when it started. And maybe they changed the format of it. They changed how they did it. Not sure. The way you described it sounds like nothing that I did when I was a recruit or as a drill instructor. But they get base liberty. A couple hours. It used to be, I don't even want to try to remember what it was when I was a drill instructor, but now they do it Wednesday base liberty, Thursday DI dinner, and Friday graduation. And I got it as a recruit, base liberty. We went right to Jack in the Box, right? And then walked around still being terrified to be yelled at by a drill instructor, but it's different. But yeah, base liberty has been around for a while. Again, how you described it is not how I remember it. I remember my drill instructor, any of you turds get in trouble, if I see you, I'm going to be walking around. It wasn't base liberty like we have base liberty today, but it's been around for a while. And again, I don't remember it was a big deal. It wasn't a big dismiss. And I think we had, and it was like 6 hours. Man, we had like 6 hours of eating junk food for 5 of those hours. All right, from the producer, y'all show your support and hit that like button. Can I show the hoodie? Will that look funny if I do it on here? A hoodie I was wearing with the members, a personal request of mine, but obviously made better by the producer. It's still cold out. I was wearing it, but I got hot when I was talking to the members. Is this a good spot for it?
Yes.
I really like the color scheme on this one. And bonus, look at the back. Is that a good spot?
Yes.
Get them while they're hot. I don't want to say numbers of how many green we have left, but green, black, gray, heather, gray, heather, black. All right, we still got hoodies.
Just message us, don't
SFMFmerch.myshopify.com. Maybe the producer can put that on there too. My liberty as a recruit from Hunter Collins was secured due to L5 in the area. I don't get that. I don't know what L5 is. Am I being old right now? What is L5? Why is it so hard to remember things, bro? Sweet, southern, clean. I think that happens when you start getting up there in age. And it's been a while. Big Horse, did you hear Ton Tavern has established a bar now? Is it in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Is it in that area that they were talking about doing the ball? I hadn't heard. Obviously, we lost hope and it never happened like it was going to. That's very cool. And I did just see a short. I thought it was an old one, though. Can you tell when shorts were videos? You see how long it's been out. days, months, years. This was a short, and I don't think shorts say that, and maybe I just don't know how to find it. But I thought it was an old short of groundbreaking at the Tun Tavern bar. I don't know, but I'm going to definitely check it out. All right. Hunter Collins. I remember getting so sick after having Starbucks with my family. Is there a merch link on your channel? Two different topics, but yes, SFMFmerch.myshopify.com. The producer just put it in the chat. Thank you. Do you guys have trouble remembering? I don't remember what the first question was. Yes. No such thing as base liberty in boot camp in 1965. Devil 07. I believe that. Old school, brother. It came around at, I'm guessing the 80s then, maybe late 80s. I had base liberty. Randall's not here. Who else? I had base liberty. Wonder when it started. But in the 60s, brother. Alan Castillo, I'm definitely buying a hoodie. All right, get some. It's comfortable too. They're good hoodies. We block so much. Southern, sweet Southern clean. I didn't even catch on how you were saying that, but yeah, true. We do block some stuff, but that's like affects my day-to-day memory. WW, leaving for deployment to Qatar directly from Fort McCoy. When is that? After the holidays? Qatar. It'd be pretty cool. I've been through Qatar. I'm not old, but I'm here with Ali Al Kill. Not everybody here is old, brother. Just me and Jared, who's not here tonight. What years were you drill instructor? 94, 96, drill instructor.
Before y'all were born.
Yeah, before most of you were born, 94 to 96. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't block that out, 94, 96. Professional compartment, how do you say that? Compartmentalizers, professional compartmentalizers. Yes, I can see that. You know, it's really funny. Who are we getting ready to talk about? Oh, my old CO from 2-5. We met up again, went to a ball together, 2-5's ball. It was great. Again, one of the best balls that I've been to. And talking story with him, we did a deployment together. We did a workup. We did field ops. We spent 18 months together in combat patrols, numerous of them together. And it's funny, like he would tell me a story I don't even remember. And I was there for it. Same, I'll tell you, you remember this night when you and I were, and he wouldn't remember it. Compartmentalizers. Why can't I say that? Say it again. Compartmentalize. So, yeah, interesting how that happens. USMC 03. I didn't have base liberty. MCRD San Diego in 1995. Yes, I do have trouble remembering certain things, but remember my DI's names. I think we all do. Excuse me. And remember everything about boot camp. Proudest days of my life. Amen. That's a compartmentalization. Nailed it. Yeah, you're right. That's interesting. 95, you didn't have base liberty. Maybe they stopped it for a little while. 94, 96, I was there. And we gave the recruits base liberty. Maybe you were in trouble. Maybe everybody else got it but you. User, spoken like a true Marine era. Big Horse, good question. Derek, were you nervous with your first cycle as a drill instructor? No. As a senior drill instructor, I was, and it's going to sound kind of weird. No one's ever asked that. That's a great question. Was I nervous with my first? No, and here's why. I think DI school does it well. You bird dog for a week before you graduate DI school and then get released to the hounds. So bird dogging, you go over there, you get assigned to different companies and platoons and series, and they just launch you, DI school students. They launch you into the trenches, soft cover, no belt, hands behind your back, and you just observe the feel, the smells, the taste, watching the drone, observing, learning. going in the duty hut. That's where I spent most of my time, in the duty hut with the senior drill instructor, trying to figure out how to do all the paperwork. How do you drop a recruit? How do you add a recruit? Little things like that. I spent most of my time there because I just knew, someone told me, you're going to get plenty of time thrashing them. That's the easiest part about being a drill instructor, is wearing them out. Learn the good stuff, the details. Again, how to drop, how to add, how to call parents, how to call recruiters, how to whatever. So I think that bird dogging phase is huge. And specifically our class, maybe all of them, you had to walk, anytime you left the duty hut, hands behind your back. They didn't want no hands on. They didn't want you knife handing anybody, nothing. You're just there to observe. And then the company I joined, the platoon I joined, was already they're in third phase already. So still learning. The recruits knew what they were doing. They were kind of punks about it, actually, because they've been in the trenches longer than me as a drill instructor. And I'd try to fake it. Oh, drill instructor. They knew right away. We had the cleanest brand new covers. They knew we were new. Even though I think my senior said, we're getting these drill instructors from another company. Third phase recruits are smart. You remember. But I don't remember ever being nervous. I was nervous my first time initial drill. I was nervous picking up my first platoon as a senior drill instructor. Remember the nerves? That's because all the pressure that's put on you for those types of events. Other than that, great question, man. No one's ever asked that. Hunter Collins, 03. We had DI dinner night, and motivation run. Now you're just making me second guess myself. I remember specifically walking around and again, going to Jack in the Box, which is still there. Jack in the Box still there? Didn't they replace that? Huh. Hunter Collins, love how the Marine Corps honors history and traditions with everything, even as small as the buttons and the belt loops. I wish more units participated in mess night to remind the Marines of their lineage. Amen, Hunter Collins. And that's for us to keep alive. Marines are fanatical about a lot of things, but specifically our customs, courtesies, history, and traditions. It's what makes us so unique. It's what makes us so freaking era. Because of stuff like that. Yes, buttons on your uniforms mean something. The belt loops, everything has meaning. Every single thing. And we continue that. Toast. I love the toasting part of a mess night. I'm going to do a mess night video for sure. I've been to tons of them. Worked at the Staff NCO Academy, where I probably every class would do a mess night, and I was there for 3 years, about 6 classes a year. Plenty.
James Duff just finished up MEPS this morning.
Which one?
James Duff
James Duff.
just finished up MEPS this morning.
Just finished MEPS this morning. How'd that go, Duff? MEPS, that's your first visit to MEPS. Can be a little stressful. But I hope everything went well, right? Your contract, that's the biggest one, a contract. Just because you go, before you sign anything, make sure your contract says exactly what you think it says, right? So ask the questions. Physical, I hope everything went well. James Duff. Good on you. Next time you go, shipping off the next day. Lake Cook, I have no memory of Liberty on the depot. Huh.
You see, did you get jump qualified?
Jump qualified. Did I get jump qualified? I did not. Who asked that?
WW.
Oh, WW. Did you get jump qualified? So jump quotas for the Marines are very far few in between. Recon gets them. Some EOD gets them. I had orders to scuba school, and it got taken away by an EOD guy. So Marines don't have our own jump school, so we got to go to the Army school, and it's a cool guy badge that every Marine wants it, but there's no need for it in the Marine Corps. Marines, again, you see some staff NCOs, some officers, some E9s and 06s, they get them. We don't fight like that anymore, so it's a recon thing, and hopefully they do. Recon snipers, they'll jump into some places, but it's not. Would love to. Always wanted to. I'm going to have to do it as a civilian, obviously, but. Big Horse. Is it a different adjust? Is it a different adjust if the senior drill instructor is a sergeant rank and the drill instructor is staff sergeant rank? Yeah, it's So Derek, and any drill instructors out there, you can back me up on this. What there's still rank on the drill field, but a black belt holds more weight than any green belt. And I'll try to explain it so it's not confusing because it's weird. I was a senior drill instructor as a sergeant, and there's always one senior on duty, one senior drill instructor. So in the evening, all the hats can go home, except one duty hat per platoon. But they rotate it. One platoon a night, there'll be a duty senior, and he acts as the commanding officer. He makes the calls for the first sergeant, series guns, whatever. He's the senior guy on deck. Here's where it gets weird. If I'm a sergeant and it's my duty night, I'm the senior guy on deck, when all the other seniors are staff sergeants and gunnies. But I'm the senior drill. They're all green belts. I'm the senior on duty, so I have seniority. Here's a quick story. I think I've shared it before. I was on duty one night. I was holding a meeting in my house. All right, I called everybody before text and computers, all that. Saw the drill instructors throughout the day. The meeting is usually 1900. After chow, recruits are in the showers. Hold a meeting real quick just to make sure everyone's on the same page for tomorrow. Well, this gunny calls my duty hut. We're waiting on one of the green belts, gunnery sergeant. He calls and says, "Hey, devil dog, I'm going to have the meeting in my house tonight. I got the scoop from the series guns," a fellow gunnery sergeant. "I got the scoops from the guns. We're going to have the meeting in my house." I said, "Hey, appreciate you, gunnery sergeant, all due respect, but I'm the duty senior. I'm passing the word. I'm having the meeting." He's like, no. Bro, I'm a gunny. I'm having it. "No, gunnery sergeant, you're not. You can have a meeting, but the duty meeting for tomorrow is going to be held in my house in 10 minutes. He said, "I ain't coming to your meeting. Damn, gunny, I'm having it." And he completely pulled rank on me. And doing the right thing as a young Marine, as a young sergeant, aye, gunnery sergeant, I won't be at your meeting. We're going to hold a company meeting here. If the other DIs want to go, they can go. And I don't remember if some went or not, but all five of us, he was the only one that went. Five of us held the meeting, passed the word, talked about the next day's training, whatever the meeting, and they take 5 minutes, man. They're nothing. But the duty senior, and in my company at that time, we were required to do it. I don't know if they still do it or everything's tech now. Probably they do it probably by meetings by text. So the next morning, he's pissed off. He came over sometime through the night. "I'll tell you what, Sergeant, if I tell you, you better Sergeant this, Sergeant that." And I was, "All right, aye, Gunner Sergeant, aye." But I held my ground. Never disrespected him. The next morning, now I'm sweating it. "I'm going to run you up, disrespect." And I'm telling you, he's talking big game. Next morning, he called in the first sergeant's office. I was like, "Oh, man, here it is. I'm going to get fired." My first cycle as a senior drill instructor. I'm a sergeant. I was the only senior sergeant there. First sergeant's like, "Hey, what happened last night? Why didn't you have a meeting?" I said, "First sergeant, I had a meeting." He said, "What about the gunnery sergeant?" And the gunny was in the office sitting on a couch chilling like, "Oh, yeah, I got you now, bro." So I said, "Oh, the gunnery sergeant didn't come to the meeting." "Well, did you give him the word?" And I said, "Well, I brought the duty logbook to him, but he had his own meeting." He said, "Is that right, Guns?" And gunnery sergeant said, "Yes, first sergeant." He said, "Gunnery sergeant, stand up. You're a gunny." He's a sergeant. E7, E5, got it. You're on the drill field. Take a look at his belt. Right? He told the gunny to look at my black belt. He's the senior drill instructor. When he's the duty drill instructor for the night, you listen to him. Sergeant, don't you dare ever disrespect a gunnery sergeant if it ever comes to that. So he laid it out, but at the end of the day, I was the senior man for that night on the drill field only. You won't see that. I don't know if you see that anywhere else in any other B billet. So is it weird or different having a senior as a sergeant or a staff sergeant or a gunnery sergeant? That's where it gets a little bit weird, but the recruits don't know, right? I used to always say, even when I was a drill instructor, sergeant teams are better, right? Because they're young, they're fired up, they're on the B billet for the first time. Not always true. I've seen some awesome staff sergeant teams. Did see a couple gunnies kind of late in their career. I had one as a green belt drill instructor. I had a gunny on my team. My senior was a gunny, but I was the J, the heavy. So I was kind of in charge, unofficially in charge of this gunny. And we used to always talk about gunnies come there late in their career because they didn't do a B billet from sergeant to staff sergeant, and now they're worried about promotion. Got to get a B billet in. I don't know if it's still that way now, but it was interesting. All right. We are about to wrap this baby up, land this helicopter. Did I hit all my points? I did, and I even got two that I'll save for Sunday. Along with Sunday, don't forget, special guest, as long as he makes it here. Special guest, ANCmetalworks.com. Mike Laycook will be in the studio. Just came across your channel. Good stuff. Hang out. TLW Production. Hang out. Like and subscribe. Come join us Sunday. 1 hour earlier on Sunday. 1600 Pacific time. Don't make me do public math. Join us. Put on your notifications, the bell for notifications, so you know next time we're live. Appreciate every single one of you. Derek Biggers, don't confuse my rank, Gunny, with my authority. I wish I would have known that line back then. But it was good. Much more to talk about. Appreciate all of y'all being here. Good night to you all. God bless you all. Stay motivated, stay safe, but be aggressive. And we'll definitely see you on Sunday. Semper Fi, my friends. God bless. And URAH.